Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 313. Yes, sir. It's your boy Gabe Patilla with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I've got to say, right off the bat, happy National Video Games Day.
That's right.
The day of recording,
That's
September 12th.
I had no idea about that.
Year of our Lord, 2018. It is National Video Games Day. I said that to my wife, and she goes, "Oh, people just make that up. It's like National Donut Day every month."
That's true.
I was like, she might have a point.
I do love some delicious donuts.
Here's what you do. Go up to her tomorrow and be like, Happy National Press-On Tattoo Day, and watch her freak out.
She'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know this existed." And be like, "Uh-huh."
And then you'd be like, I just made it up.
Yep, you're welcome.
Happy National Anthropology Day.
Oh, man. Tim Router.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with you, man?
Oh, you know, games and life and games. Back to you.
All right, Christopher.
Nice.
Oh, you know.
Piper's
Coaching that soccer.
That's right. Piper's topic of the week is
Shin splints.
yeah, right. Heat exhaustion. No, I'm kidding. It was hot on Saturday
Foot
at our game.
splinters from kicking boards.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. No, it's actually, Piper was chosen this week to be the person of the week in her class.
Oh.
So every day
So
they
what does
do
that
something.
entail?
Well, more work for the parents, basically, is what it entails.
I was about to say.
On
You have to bring
Monday,
cupcakes.
yeah, you have to bring. So no, you bring in like a board, like a poster board or something with all of like Piper's favorite things. So that's what Mommy was doing on Sunday, and then today she and I went to her school and we read one of Piper's favorite books to the class, which was Giraffes Can't Dance. And then we had lunch with her, and then tomorrow, like the whole class like writes a book about her, and it's just it's cute. So she's enjoying it, and it's a good time. So that's her topic of the week. This week has been pretty crazy, just lots of stuff going on. We had a soccer game on Saturday. It was 12:45. It was hot as all get out, and the girls were basically just dying, and we were getting, of course, crushed. And we called the game early just because everyone was out of water. Yeah, totally. I'm like, hey, 15-year-old ref, can we
That'll
cut
teach
this?
them to persevere.
Half of my girls have no water left. It's like the Sahara out here, and they're all dropping like flies. So it was crazy.
Gosh.
But yeah.
Lord
so
have mercy.
perseverance no more. Yes, it's called give in before heat stroke kicks in. Yeah, as I posted on YouTube last week, I tested on Thursday for my green belt. So now I'm in an intermediate level of Hanmudo, which is the martial arts that I do.
Oh, that's right.
And I got to break 2 boards. I did a knife hand strike and a front kick and smacked them, and it was awesome.
I forgot how cute you were.
It felt, I know, right? I'm a 43-year-old man-child. So, and I got a Wowie afterwards. It was great.
Yeah, exactly. Piper patted your head as you got back in the car.
That's right. We all went out for ice cream and sat on the curb
She
and
said, "That'll
counted
do,
cars.
pig. That'll do."
That exactly. Yep.
But do not put that trophy on the mantle.
That's right.
Exactly right. You keep that in the bathroom.
That's right.
Don't ever wear that belt for real.
It is a doorstop. Yes. So anyway, no, it was fun, and yeah, man, just trying to work and get things put together. There's a couple of films that I've been working on that are coming out this week, and of course, it's right when
Spielberg up in here.
Hurricane Florence is going to start hitting, so they've had to cancel a few theaters in the North Carolina area. So we are definitely praying for all of our people in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia, because Florence is coming your way, and so
Brennan Bay Butters.
Yeah.
So it's nuts, man. So we will certainly be thinking and praying for you as well.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't have to have Trump come by and throw paper towels at you like he's shooting from the 3-point line.
Yeah. That's right.
That's how I felt like he was doing down in Puerto Rico. I was like, why are you throwing those like that?
I know.
He's like, Curry.
That's right.
Curry. I'm like, would you stop that?
3.
Just hand them out like regular. Yeah.
That's a 3-pointer. 3.
That's how you do it bigly.
Ridiculous.
Exactly. So funny.
Another fantastic no work Fridays from my boy Ed. Always look forward to that, brother.
Jealous.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
I have
Such
not
good
been
fun.
able to partake in a single one.
I know.
Come on, Chris.
It's so much fun.
I mean, maybe do one like
Just go in for a game.
Yeah, half
go in
toward
for
Friday or something. I don't know.
Go in for one game and then out. So
Yeah,
it would
take your lunch.
It's so much fun. Exactly.
There you go.
But as I say almost every week, thank you, Ed, for putting that together because it is so much fun and we get to hang out and laugh together and do some Jackbox, which is always a good time. Great. Yeah, it's always a good time. I am probably close to finishing South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Oh, good.
Nice.
And it got a little weird toward the end. I've got to say, it's
South Park.
Yeah, exactly. How dare I say anything that South Park is weird? But it's still pretty freaking hilarious, and it's done. The game is done really well. I do love the new combat system is great. It's turn by turn, and I kind of like some of the new features that they added versus what was on the Stick of Truth. It just seems a little bit more polished, and so I'm really enjoying it. So I feel like I'm getting very, very, very close to the end, and which is great because this Friday I will get in my mailbox Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which will be fantastic.
In your mailbox, don't you get them from Best Buy? Do they?
Yeah,
I thought you go to the store and pick them up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have time to go pick them up, so I'm just gonna. They'll ship it same day, so
there you go.
It should be fine. Yeah, exactly. I'll probably get it next week, but hopefully
that's happened before, right? Didn't that happen once before?
Last of Us. Last of Us.
That's what it was.
Ready to murder them. Oh, it was awful. That's when I switched. So I'm trusting that they'll have it. They'll have it for me when we need to. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to this game. I know everybody has been talking a lot about Spider-Man, but Tomb Raider's always got just a little special place in my heart just because I really do enjoy these reboots. I cannot wait to get into that bow and arrow. It's just that I think it's still one of my favorite weapons. And it's just going to be, I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. I'm really curious where this is going story-wise, and we'll see. I mean, I don't really remember too much about the story from Rise, but it was still just so much fun to do. And it's kind of like if you don't have Uncharted or you're waiting for something, it's kind of like you get a little in-between Uncharted like fix. And so it's going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to that. That and Clash Royale, and that is it for ya boy.
Nice. Ed Placencia.
Yes.
What it do da.
AKA Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, my new
Ed
accountant.
Spider-Man.
Well, this weekend, our friends, the Tapmans, Sarah's sister and their family, they had a friend staying with them for the last couple months from Spain, and they went to go take her back to the airport. Her vacation was over, and they asked us if we wanted to go up to Chicago for the day with them.
What? Yeah, buddy.
So we drove up and did the, they asked her where she wanted to eat, so we ate at the Rainforest Cafe.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I'm so glad
awesome.
you drove all the way to Chicago for the Rainforest Cafe.
That
I know, right?
5-star rated
incredible
restaurant. It's really good, dude.
Fortunately, I didn't have to do any driving, so it was...
How far is Chicago from you?
It's about 3 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
Note to self, next time I'm in Chicago, guilt trip Ed Placencia.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're gonna drive up here for Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, dangle some Rainforest Cafe in front of Ed.
And
you know what's funny about that? We ate at a similar place when you guys came to Nashville. Remember, we ate at the Aquarium.
We did. That's
which is owned by the same folks and
same company,
kind of the same type thing. Yeah.
In
the Rainforest Aquarium in the same mall. Yep.
Yeah, the same mall as Rainforest Cafe. That's right.
Yes. So we did that, and then we took her to the airport, and then we went and just walked around downtown. And after that, for dinner, we had some Chicago deep dish Giordano's pizza, and
beautiful,
so good, so good. So it was a nice little day of spending way too much money for food.
Amen.
And,
but it's delicious.
It is delicious, and it was a good experience, and everyone had a good time, and it was nice.
That's great.
And then after that, gaming wise, last week before Spider-Man got here, played some Overwatch.
Yeah.
That
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Played some God of War, played some Jackbox, and then Spider-Man got here.
Yes.
And
And Tim, you are gonna love this game.
Yes.
All right, cool. I'm in.
This is like
Oh.
the best of every game I love. Take a little bit of Batman Arkham.
Yes.
Take a little bit of Assassin's Creed stealth.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Not even just stealth, some other things too.
Yes. Take a little bit of infamous Second Son.
That's right.
Mhm.
And I have not been
And
this
a lot of
blown away.
Spider-Man.
And a lot of Spider-Man. And from the get-go, and there will be no spoilers here, so you don't
That's
have to be nervous.
Spider-Man
from
is
the-
in it, though.
Spider-Man
Oh,
is
good,
in it.
good,
Yeah.
That's
good.
true. New York City is in it.
That's right.
But from the get-go, I was overwhelmed with the buttons.
Yeah.
Try this combo, try this combo, try this combo, try this combo.
Yeah.
And that at
It
first
reminded
was,
me of Shadow of War.
yes.
Like the
yes.
combat reminds me a little bit of Shadow of War.
Ah, okay.
Which kind
Yeah.
of in and of itself is also reminiscent of the Arkham games, right?
Yeah,
I only played the one, but I
don't
felt like
remember
it was a
there
bit
being
that
as many
way.
button combos. I remember Shadow of War being combo heavy, especially as you
Oh,
unlocked
yeah.
your person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I thought Arkham had way more combos.
Maybe
didn't they,
so.
than
I don't remember.
Shadow?
I think
don't
as they
remember
went
either.
on, they got a little more complicated.
I only
Yeah.
played whatever the last one was, Arkham Knight, and I
Mm.
felt like it was. I don't know if it was more than Spider-Man, but I felt like it had a good amount of combos you
Yeah.
could figure out.
You're
Yeah.
probably right.
And I, pretty much remembered two of them and kind of did them over and over again.
That's right.
Traversing the city at first, it's funny because it takes you a second to get a hang of
That's
the
right.
webs.
That's right.
But at the same time, as soon as you start swinging, you're like, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so cool. So cool.
Oh.
All right, cool, man.
And I went into this, I'd never played a Spider-Man game before. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan by any means. And so I kind of went into it like, this looks like a fun game. I would really like to play this. And did not expect to just be grabbed.
Yes,
And-
sir.
Really?
Oh, awesome.
When,
Awesome.
when
Okay.
collectibles pop up on the map,
That's right.
it's funny because when I play Assassin's Creed, you can get overwhelmed. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I like to get all of those collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
But with this one,
Speak
it was
on it.
like,
Speak on it.
oh my gosh.
Yes, sir.
Look at all of these things I get to go get.
Come on
And
now.
the
Oh,
more I
wow.
talk with people in the community, most of us have been forgetting the main story and just going after backpacks and
You done
going
all
after
right.
collectibles. And it's just been, I think we've all been pleasantly surprised just how much fun it is just to do the little side things like that. And
I told
Man,
Ed it's the first time in a game that I'm like, 1,000 meters? No problem.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even looking
Nice.
for a fast travel.
yep.
Like I didn't even well, I'm sorry to butt in, but I didn't even know there was a fast travel because I'm just like I'm not even looking for it. I'm just
Right.
going.
right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just feels so good.
It really
And,
does.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that's awesome, dude.
The combat is so much fun. And I just can't, I can't talk good enough about this game. I'm addicted to this game. I can't stop thinking about it.
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
All day in Chicago, I was like, oh man.
I wish I was swinging through here.
I was like, that building
He's like
right there.
pretend
I would,
web slinging ever cross.
Exactly. I'm like, I would swing up that and I would go up here. And I would
That's
hit
amazing.
X
Oh
right
my
at the
gosh.
right time. And
I
Just-
That's good.
totally
That's
agree.
great, man. All right.
If
you got me.
we're on the fence about this game at all, I cannot recommend it enough.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
What do you think about Peter Parker? Because this is my question. I don't like him as much as Tom Holland, personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still like him. But Marvel, the cinematic universe, has done so good with him lately.
Mhm.
You think you're spoiled?
Oh, I think I'm so spoiled.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you don't? You mean you don't like the voice actor, like the sound of his voice, or you just don't
Yeah,
like his
I just-
lines,
like,
or what do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of a mix. Like, I don't love his voice, even though it is older Spider-Man, which I
Right.
like. Like, we didn't have to go back through the, he's living on his own, and we don't have to go back through the origin story and all that.
Right. Right.
But like, and so I don't know if it's his voice plus the writing but the writing doesn't seem as snappy as the Marvel movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
The Marvel movies, like he's just, to me, he's overall funnier in the movies.
Right.
That's all I mean. Not that I don't like him.
Yeah.
I just don't love him as much as Tom Holland.
Yeah.
So let me ask one question. How far along are all three of you right now?
I'm not very far along at all. Honest, I have not had much time.
I think the percentages, I'm like 35% or something like that.
I'm somewhere.
Ed's at 115.
I think the last time I logged in, I was somewhere in the 20s, but honestly, probably 15% of that is side crap.
That's right.
The thing is,
that's exactly
if you do
right.
a lot of side stuff, you think you're further in the story than you are.
Yeah.
Because even like at 40%, I wasn't 40% of the way through the story. Just it was
40%
just the collectibles
completion.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I haven't even met a bad guy yet.
I have met a bad guy.
That's hilarious.
Like I've met the first one that
awesome,
you have to meet, but
Right.
beyond
In
that,
opening 30 minutes,
and but like after that, I haven't met any main bad guys because I've been doing
That's
so
funny.
much picture taking and
That
backpack
is funny.
hunting.
Oh my gosh. And can I just
And yeah, real quick, picture taking, he doesn't necessarily mean like limb photo
No
mode
gametography.
picture
No,
taking.
that's
Yeah,
not what I
right.
mean.
Not gametography.
No, not at all.
there is oh man. I don't think it's a spoiler to say, but I'll still remain vague in case you don't want to know. There is a picture related thing you can do in the game that surprisingly is not a trophy. But I can't wait to do it.
Nice.
And can we give a shout out to freaking Greggy, Game Over Greggy,
Oh yeah.
who's like
What happened?
hacked and slashed his way into this game. So
well, I don't. Well, yeah. I mean,
I don't know how it happened. I don't know the story behind it at all. But Game Over Greggy has been doing this countdown. Like he's been saying almost every day, is it September 7th yet? With like a different picture of himself up or a cartoon or something with like a Spider-Man mask, and he'll have his shirt on or off. And then he's somewhere in the world as an NPC with the Spider-Man mask on and no shirt on, and it's supposed to be Greg. And that's amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
I saw him then.
You did?
Yes.
oh, then you're much further than I thought.
Yeah, I did see him then because it's
Are
not
you
like
surprised, Chris?
it's not
No,
like
no,
it's someone like a person walking down the street. You actually interact
Run
with
into
the
him?
person very quickly.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice. Good job for
Oh,
Greg.
that's funny. Good
Yeah.
job for
Awesome.
Greg.
Man, Ed, you're saying all the things that I, was prior to the release was thinking like, I'm Spider-Man's great, but it's like, it's not the best one for me. I've played some of the Arkham stuff. So the fact that you're throwing in Infamous in here in Assassin's Creed is just like,
Yes.
oh, okay. I hear you.
There are so many things in this game that I didn't expect. And that's one of the reasons I loved going into this.
Blind.
I mean, we saw the trailer at E3 a couple of years ago, and I intentionally didn't watch anything else. I didn't read anything, and I'm so glad I didn't because
That's
I've
great.
just been pleasantly surprised. And just when you think the game can't get any better, they do something different or they introduce something new.
Doggone it.
Oh,
So I mean, I guess we
awesome.
should just make this part the intermingled Spider-Man talk part. I mean, Gabe, do you want
You
to
might as well, right?
jump in with how it's been going for you or whatever?
know,
or
I'll
I
tell
know
you
you're not
what.
too far through.
Yeah, I'm not too far
Because
through.
you had
but
some reservations coming in. You're like,
That's right.
Yeah, that was that was
yeah.
the other bug in the back of my mind too, because you were like, okay,
and I was
cool.
so wrong. And granted, the thing I said I didn't like, I haven't got to yet. So I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm gonna hate that or not. But like
oh yeah.
just the swinging through New York. Like I'm telling you, I don't do side stuff as like, not as like, don't do side quests, but like if a side quest is in my way, I'll do it. Like the glinty things in Uncharted, like if they were right there, I'd go for them. Or if it felt
Right.
like they were around the corner, that I'd go for it. This thing is like, hey, there's 55 backpacks to find. I'm like, no problem. Let me set my waypoints. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you got to
That's
take,
so cool.
all these pictures of these landmarks. I'm like, right on it, sir. I mean, like, I'm just loving being in the world and like swinging around it and seeing how close to the ground I can get and doing all this stuff. And like the way he flips and turns and twirls, like Oh my gosh. It reminds me, and I know it's a terrible game, but it really does remind me of the first time I played Nights into Dreams. The way they did the animation of him flying, it wasn't like he would do a loop-de-loop, but like he would go up and then like corkscrew down and then like, and then, curve his way up. And it was really fluid feeling for the time. And that's what Spider-Man feels like. Like once you get down, okay, I can't just attach to the air. So I got to like wait till I get below the roofs of the buildings and then swing from there and then dive down. And, I mean, it is so fun. You feel like it makes me feel sad for every Superman game that's ever been out. Because I'm like, how have I never felt like Superman in a game, but I feel exactly like I would think feeling like Spider-Man feels like in this game.
And did they nail New York or did they?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
I mean, it is like a living, breathing character.
Yeah.
It's so well done.
And you're like, how do they get all this in here with no loading screens? No, you know what I'm saying? Not that you don't load every, when you're going in and out of some buildings, but like when you're just going through New York, going as fast as you can, this like, let's hold up a second. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a lot of pop in the distance, but like,
no,
you're just like, it's just, I'm liking it. Chris, are you liking it?
Yeah, I am liking it. I don't think I'm quite as gaga over it like you two are, but I'm definitely really enjoying it. And like I said before, I haven't.
Do you think it's because you're recording it?
No, because I'm doing it the same way that I did with, kind of with God of War, and then also with Horizon, where all the side stuff I'm doing like off recording. So like when I first started, I'm just doing the main story things on the recording, and then whenever I have free time, where it's like, because I know the only thing that kind of slows me down whenever it comes to the recording thing is I like to record for at the bare minimum an hour.
That's right.
Ideally, I want to do 2, because then that means I could chop up and get like 4 or 5 or 10 or plus episodes, depending on how long I go out of that. And then I can upload in bulk. And that's how I prefer to do it. But when I know I don't have that amount of time, I'll just jump in and, like you said, I'll be collecting backpacks. I'll be doing the other things. I'll be doing stuff to level up and get you. Because like Ed said early on, I was like, man, there's a lot of combos. And sure, I can go to like, I'm just going to rely on these 2. But I'm like, man, I'd really like to have 4 or 5 under my belt that I feel confident I can use at any time, because some of them are for evasive and some of them are offensive and defensive. And I just really like having my head wrapped around it. So I've played way more of the content, like all the side stuff, just because I've only had like, 20 minutes or 15 or something. I've had little spurts.
That's right.
And it's not, I don't mean to make it sound like I'm down on it in any way, but I'm taking it how I assumed I would. It's not surprising me like, I didn't think I would like it to the level that I am, but I don't feel like I'm liking it more above my expectations. Like I'm right where I plan to be. Kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's one of those games where I get caught up so much. And I did this with one other game recently. God of War, where like I'm having so much fun playing it that I forget to even level up my character. Like, it'll be like, you can do this now. And I'll go and have like 4, skill points. And I'm like, oh, snap, I need to spin these things. But they've made the combat enough to where like, it doesn't feel like you have to level up to keep up.
Maybe
it will later.
So far, I agree.
Yeah. It's funny because I played it the first, I would say the opening sequence is probably like a half hour or so.
Yeah, something like that.
I played it and then asked Sarah if she wanted to play, and she didn't watch me at all. And she was like, yeah, sure. And within 5 minutes, she was like, wow, this is awesome.
I will say that I actually really dig Peter Parker's stuff, and I dig the guy who's voicing him and everything. And I'm not necessarily going to say like better than Tom Holland or whatever, but I really dig the dialogue. To me, he feels... Because you're coming into this and it's 8 years past, he's been a Spider-Man for 8 years, and I feel like that's where it is. Whereas Tom Holland just feels like a kid. And he doesn't really, even though technically he is a kid because he's just in his early 20s, he just feels like a bit more mature, like someone who's been doing this a while. Like he still has the quips. Like, I don't know. I got this early on. I'm assuming that this is not, that everybody will get this early on, so I'm not going to consider this a spoiler, but he has this cop that he's kind of working with early on that you meet at the very first mission. And then later on, I think it was during maybe when I was doing some side stuff, he has this dialogue with this cop, and he dons this persona of Spider Cop, and he's like commenting like, Spider Cop and the sheriff, they're over here, and she didn't really know. But I think that's hilarious. All those little things, I've been totally enamored with. I thought those were really, really good.
So great.
Man, I just can't wait for you guys to get further into it so we can talk about it.
I know. I've got a long drive to Pennsylvania tomorrow night. And so I think it's a 13 or 14-hour drive. So I'm all in it to win it.
Yeah, I've got tomorrow and Friday. Should have some good long recording sessions. It'll be good.
Oh, nice. Just the combat is so much fun, and there are so many things to do in the combat. And I might have seen the same finishing move 50 times by now, but I never get tired of watching it. And just the environments you can interact with, and it's like, oh, what if I pull on this? What will this do? Oh, wow, I didn't expect that. And just
yes.
Yeah, and I kind of figured that Ed would have taken to it. I'm really happy to hear Gabe's kind of not really a 180 because it's not like you were down on it, but you had some fairly heavy reservations about it. And I'm really happy you're like so enamored right now.
Yeah,
that's really awesome.
Yeah, I'm a little not disappointed that I like the game so much, but like Tim, I have Tomb Raider coming in the mail on Friday, and I'm like, oh, you've got it's like having to follow Chris Rock or Jerry Seinfeld. It's
yeah. There's no way you're gonna be as fun. And that's why I told Ed the other day too, is like, I don't know if I've had this much fun playing a game yet this year. It's just really fun. Like to where God of War felt heavy, and I feel like I was learning things about a father and son relationship, and everything's gritty and down here and boring. You know what I'm saying? Where this one's so light and airy and fun. I was like, I feel like it's the most fun I've had yet.
I will say that I completely agree with what you're saying, that it's super fun and it's a lot of enjoyment. And this, I don't mean this as a negative, but I will say it's exactly, at least to the point that I've played right now. I'm not very far into it. It feels like, a Marvel movie or whatever. Like you're not going in like, it's just going to be a comic book thing. Like if you're not into comic booky stuff, this might not be your shtick, at least in terms of the storyline and everything, because it's the typical comic book trope so far. And it's the kind of typical, I don't feel like it's breaking any new ground or doing anything really new. I'll say that. So if that's what you're looking for, you may be a bit disappointed. But if you just go into it knowing like, hey, this may be a little bit of the best of all these games I like, but I like all those parts of those games, so I'm just going to have a good time. You'll have a blast.
Yeah, and I'm not I've seen the Spider-Man movies. I used to watch the cartoon when I was a kid, but that's really all I know about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel lost. I don't feel like anything's gone over my head. And at the same time, it's been cool to see and hear people who are Spider-Man fans just be like, oh my gosh, there's this, and they put this in there. And it's just been, it's at everyone's level. And I love that.
And I will say this, on the cutscenes, they really fix their mouths. Their mouths their facial animation is awesome. I think it's great. I mean, it's
so good.
Like when I first saw it, I was like,
think it's good too. I think it's still a little heavily shadowed, but I think it's still good, the animation wise.
Yeah.
Feels like everything that has a light right above everybody. But
I didn't pick up on that, but I'm mostly just talking about the animation part.
Yeah, the animation's amazing.
And even when it's not a cutscene, the city looks like a cutscene. It's so well animated. It's just I don't know how they did it. It's so good. The music, come on, man.
Yeah.
Nice,
just when you're swinging, it always starts this like epic, like Marvel music. You're like, yeah, that's right. Here I go.
And one thing that I wondered about as I played, and then I saw in a tweet that confirmed my wondering, is that the guy who played Peter Parker recorded every line twice.
Oh, wow.
Once as if he was standing and once as if he was exerting energy.
Yes, and they nail that thing.
It's so smooth. So if you're on a building talking with the police chief in your ear and then you start swinging, he will all of a sudden, like he's swinging on his rope or on his web. And it's like, oh, it's just even those little details.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. Gotta stop. All right. It was a great week.
So you had a great week then, huh?
Chris.
That's awesome.
Chris McCracken.
I'll make this quick because we've been babbling on a lot. We have a location shoot that we're doing this week, so that's been why I haven't had as much time to play since the weekend Spider-Man, because I've been going in early and then not necessarily staying late, but then having to wrap up everything and then just getting home, and I'm pretty much zonked whenever I get home. Stacy's parents went out of town and went on a little short vacation. I went and picked them up from the airport tonight, and I got home like just in enough time to gather up the news stories for tonight. Hopefully they're all new.
Yeah, all right.
And then
we'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, exactly. You will definitely let me know. And then I just kind of gathered that up. So that's what I was doing tonight. I didn't even get to play anything this evening. I did get to do. So we're kind of the person that I report to. Me and my partner at work. She has a friend that's kind of does more video stuff around the industry or around the DFW area. And we've kind of been starting to collaborate with him a little bit more. And so he's kind of come and collaborated with us on some pre-production things. And then we got invited to go out and like help out on one of his video shoots. And so on Monday evening, we went to the Star, which in the Dallas area, that's where the Cowboys' offices and their practice field and everything, they do all that kinds of stuff. And we got to help out on the promo shoot for, it was Michael Irvin. Like basically, if you've ever been to a football game or an NFL game, a lot of times they'll have like a hype video at the beginning where they'll try to get you all into the game. And then they'll have this other one where the screens will switch and be like, all right, it's third down, like make some noise, or like just something to get you pumped in and get the crowd into the game.
Yeah.
They have it at like other sporting events as well. So we shot a bunch of promo little videos of that with Michael Irvin. So that was kind of
nice.
Cool. Because
Nice.
I've been a Cowboys fan forever, and then like the heyday from when I was a Cowboys fan, anyways, was the Super Bowl years when they were the dynasty and everything in the '90s, and so it was a really, really cool thing to be able to be a part of that. So I was really happy and just super thankful that I got the opportunity to go be a part of that.
That's dope.
But this week, yeah, we're just we were shooting today and we're shooting tomorrow, and then Friday is going to be kind of a wrap up day to get any miscellaneous stuff that we may have run out of time on or whatnot. But I'm hoping that tomorrow night and then Friday night I'll be able to jump back into Spider-Man and get that going. One other thing that I did spend a little bit of time with, because I definitely wanted to give it a shot whenever the beta was out, is I did try the Blackout beta, the Call of Duty Blackout beta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's live right now. I think at the moment it's only on PlayStation 4, and I think like over the weekend or maybe on Monday or something it opens up for Xbox.
Friday
and I think
for Xbox.
Oh, is it Friday? And is that when it's an open beta for everybody, or is it still private?
I'm not sure.
For, like,
I don't know.
Okay, well there's some shenaniganry, so like there's going to be an open beta, like it's open to everybody at some point. I just don't know exactly when that happens. And it seems like a lot of people online are really, really digging Blackout.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's okay. I'm not like enamored with it. I think it's better than PUBG of what I've played of PUBG. I haven't played it in a while. And I'm again, strictly talking console here. I'm not talking about the PC side. So I do like it better than that. It does have an inventory management like PUBG, but it feels like it's made for a controller, which is what PUBG did not have. It did not feel like it was made for a controller.
Right.
Or it feels like it was shoehorned into a controller. Like, yeah, this kind of makes sense. Well, but not really.
But
right. Call of Duty's Blackout definitely feels like it's made for a controller. It's not as simplified, so it's a little bit more going on than like H1Z1, but I don't feel like it's as convoluted as PUBG. So it's a nice little middle area. I'm still just not sure if I like the Battle Royale formula, but with Call of Duty type stuff, because there's kind of like little perks, and then the weapons are all over the place, and then there's just some things like that I'm just not sure how I like. And obviously it's a beta, so there's other things that I don't really like. You have to really look down at anything that you're going to pick up off the ground, and you have to like hold square, and it's slow. I'm used to like H1 and PUBG where you can kind of you can be running, and if you run over and you hit the button, it picks it up. It's not that way in the Blackout beta, at least right now. Yeah. It's just a lot slower in that respect, which is weird because Call of Duty is always known for being so super fast. So when you have to really slow down to pick up things and swap things out, that feels a little strange. I'm sure it's something that they'll address, as they go, because they've said over and over how, this is going to be an evolving game. It's going to constantly change over time, like all of the Battle Royale games. But I do want to give some more time to it and play it some more, because I need to figure out, do I want to buy Call of Duty or do I want to hold off and just kind of wait a little bit later? I will say it does feel like something that, if maybe not this year, but if Battle Royale continues to be a thing for Call of Duty, like if this does really well, I could totally see it being branched off and just being its own thing that you purchase and not bundled in with Call of Duty proper. But I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it kind of just depends. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Activision to be like, we're going to sell both of them separately for those people who want both, kind of thing, to get that money twice.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to see. But if you can get into the beta or whenever it opens up to the open beta, I definitely, if you're interested in Battle Royale at all, I'd say give it a try, because a lot of other people are liking it way more than I am. So I think it's worth giving a shot.
One of my buddies, Serta Road Crew, brought to my attention that people are liking it so much that like Activision stock jumped like $6 earlier this week.
Wow.
And so,
Yeah.
Nice.
Some people have even gone as far to call it a Fortnite killer, which I can't imagine happening.
Whoosh.
But
I mean, a lot of people play Call of Duty. Fortnite killer, but it definitely feels like it's going to squash PUBG, which is what it's more akin to anyways, because it's more of the realistic look and everything. I feel like Fortnite and this one will be the two that rise to the top and can compete, or not compete, but can live side by side because they're just different enough from each other that they feel like they're complementary in a way. Like, oh, I want the cartoony battle royale, I'll go over here. I want the more realistic, I'll go over here.
That's right.
I think PUBG's in a lot of trouble, quite frankly. And it's not even come out on like PlayStation 4 or any other of the consoles yet. And it's like, it's already like its numbers are dwindling like crazy on Twitch. Like people are just either moving on to Fortnite or now trying out this battle royale. So
yes,
I think they might be a little, they fizzled fast, it seems. But we'll just have to see. But that's it for me on the gaming front and life front. For now.
Nice.
Not life, but you know what I mean.
Gabriel, how did the surprise go? I'm dying to know.
Oh, yeah. We went to Disney since I talked to you guys last.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man, we had a crazy weekend. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, the surprise went amazing. What we did was we didn't tell Amara until we were on the way to the airport. And Jenny had already told Amara, like, hey, we're going to have a special girls' night. And Amara got super excited and been asking her about it every day. And then we were like, hey, Boots, there's a change of plans. We're going to have a special night, but Daddy's got to come before he leaves on the road. Is that okay? She was like, of course. She's super excited. She just wants to be anywhere with her parents away from her brothers. And so
sweet girl.
And so we get in the car and we're headed out. She's all excited. And Jenny had wrapped her wristband from when we went to Disney earlier, like her pink wristband that you use to getting out of the park.
Oh yeah.
And a little present along with like this Mickey necklace. And so we said, hey Boots, so do you want to know where we're going tonight? And she was like, yes. And we were like, here's a little present. And she opened it up and she saw the band and she was like, Disney! She started yelling.
Nice.
And so she was super excited. And then my brother intercepted us and drove us to the airport, and we went and had an amazing time.
Nice.
Oh, good. So much better than the last time.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't even compare. The weather was amazing. The lines were short. We didn't get to do everything because like Toy Story Land and stuff like that, like some of those lines were still really long. And like, we're just so spoiled. We didn't feel like waiting an hour to get on a ride. And so anything that was like 50 minutes to an hour, we just, or longer, we didn't ride. But we still got to do like the Toy Story ride, like stuff that she would really like. And so we hit 3 parks in one day. So we started at Hollywood Studios, boom, 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 like Star Wars, Toy Story, Muppets, and something else, and 8. And then headed over to Magic Kingdom, boom, 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 Small World. I don't even remember what all we rode over there, but 4 or 5 rides over there, maybe 3 or 4 rides over there. Met Tinkerbell and Mickey and Belle and did that whole thing. Boom, off to Epcot. Boom, boom, boom. Did Soarin'. She had never done Soarin' before. She loved it. Did Nemo. Did Fast Track or Test Track they call it now twice because she loved it so much.
Oh, that's great.
And then went to France, got desserts. And went back to the hotel. So it was like,
and then collapsed.
Yeah, exactly. So we were exhausted, but it was like, it's always the way I liked doing Disney. Like, I'm not much for like strolling and looking around. Sure, I mean, everything's great. And, we took in a parade and stuff like that. But like being able to like just boom, 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 next place, boom, 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 next place, boom, boom, boom. It was,
you know what you want and you go.
Yeah, exactly. So that was awesome.
So cool.
Yeah. And then the next day we did Universal, and she was a big girl and rode everything we could put her on. So, Harry Potter and Spider-Man and Simpsons and Men in Black and, there we had a guide because we're doing the show. So, in like 4 hours, we could hit like 9 rides, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
we were just going for broke, man. And she was a trooper and hung in there and talked a whole bunch.
That's great.
Yeah,
So cool, man.
Talked a whole bunch.
She'll remember that for a long time.
and then we rode the bus back home, and she loved riding in the bus and being in the bunk and sleeping in and being on her iPad and, you know, just all that stuff. So it was actually an amazing trip. We were really grateful.
That's great, man. Hey,
So
I meant to
cool.
ask, how was Rock, now that Night of Joy is no longer there, was Rock the Universe bigger, or did you notice any difference?
You know, I didn't notice, but it seemed like regular, like, you know, a lot of people there, but yeah, definitely don't have the direct competition going on. But they still do a Christian something at Disney, because Mercy Me and Torrin Wells were both singing at the International Food and Wine Festival. So I'm hoping we get invited to that.
There you go.
You know, past the communion. So yeah, so it was still great. There were a lot of people there. But the park wasn't really busy, and even on our Disney day, we it looked like it was gonna thunderstorm all day, and it rained once, and it was like when we were on the ride. We came back out and we're like, oh, it's all wet out here. That's weird.
That's awesome.
What do you think about rain?
That's Florida for you.
Mhm.
There you go.
And then we came back and then made the drive up to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And that day was really weird because Toby texted me the night before. He's like, hey, I'm going to need you tomorrow. And I was like, shoot, because that's usually an hours and hours long thing. And I just bought Spider-Man, and that was my plan for the day.
Yeah,
was
spoiled.
to play Spider-Man. And he was like, hey, I need you to go to these dunes with me. I want to shoot some photos for the packaging for the new album. And I actually do love being involved in that stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, no problem. Dunes were like an hour and a half away. We went to the dunes, had to rent a Jeep to, like, you know, do the dunes. So I was like driving a Jeep on these crazy sand dunes. I'd never done that before. I would have never done it. And so that was incredible. Got some pictures. They made it into the packaging. Praise God. So if you buy the Toby album and you see all the pictures of the dunes, that was us getting her done. You guys will be happy to hear that when we were there signing up for the Jeep, there was another guy there with us signing up, and he goes, man, are you Darius Rucker? And I was like,
yes.
No.
Yes.
He's like, I was like, no. He's like, oh man, it's just that voice. I was like, yeah, it's just the voice. Anyway.
That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like if Toby had the same voice, they'd be like, are you Darius Rucker? Because
Right.
Exactly.
the voice.
It's the voice.
Yeah.
I thought I sounded that.
Exactly. So that was funny. And then, sorry, I'm talking a lot.
No, you're
It's fine.
Can I just name drop real quick? Or just back up, because I'm going to name drop. Just back
That's
up.
fine.
Everybody
Depends
okay?
on the name.
I know. It's going to be weird.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be weird.
John Schneider?
I'm
Ooh,
out.
almost.
Rob
So
Schneider.
do you guys know Stephen Baldwin?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Stephen Baldwin, we were doing a Palau festival. It's kind of like a Billy Graham crusade.
Mhm.
Except this guy named Luis Palau, and he does these same thing kind of crusades, goes into a city, a bunch of people come. I think there's like 40,000 people there. Present the gospel and all that. So a couple years ago, I want to say like 7 years ago, Stephen got saved, and
Mhm.
the Palaus kind of became his like mentors, like spiritual mentors.
Mhm.
Well, his daughter's name is Haley, and Haley is engaged to Justin Bieber.
The Biebs.
The
yes.
Biebs. And
Stephen Baldwin's daughter?
Stephen Baldwin's daughter is engaged to Justin Bieber.
That's
and
funny.
so the thing was coming to Grand Rapids. Stephen was going to be there. And so he calls Justin. He's like, hey, you need to come to this thing with me. And so on Saturday night or Sunday night, me and Toby and two other guys are sitting there with Stephen Baldwin and Justin Bieber on the bus.
What?
Oh my gosh.
And it was just very weird. Like,
that's such a weird collection of people.
That is
that's what I
that is
thought.
a
I was
weird
like,
collection.
I love you from Despacito. I love you from Usual Suspects. And this is just very crazy right now.
It's like a Mad Libs of people.
Yeah, it definitely is a
is.
Bad Libs. Yeah, exactly. So I was on a tour bus with Justin Bieber and Stephen Baldwin.
So what the heck was the conversation like?
Man, we just talked. It was really like chill. And like Justin was talking, Stephen was talking about him asking, for his daughter's hand in marriage. And Stephen was talking about what's important to him. And Justin was talking about really wanting to change his life. And that's the whole reason he was there and trying to get more involved in church and stuff like that. And we were like, what in the world is going on
What
right
is
now?
going on? Right? Am I being punked?
Yeah,
What's happening here?
So it was just a really cool
That's
time
cool,
to
though,
just
man.
sit and talk. Sorry for dropping the name, but it was just so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that would be.
shout outs to JB and Steve. I'm just kidding.
Because, they're listening right now.
Because we're on nickname basis right now.
That's right.
That's right.
Anyway, but it was just like a weird thing. And then we like did the show and got back on the bus and we were like, did today happen? Like, this is a weird day. And I'm telling Jenny, she's texting me. She's like, did you get to meet Bieber? And I'm like, yeah, but it was like almost too normal. Like you don't realize until you leave the bus and hear people screaming that he's a ginormous
He
star.
was just hanging out with you.
Yeah, and he didn't act like that. You know what I mean? Anyway.
That's
fun.
That's really cool.
Gaming wise.
And weird.
Yeah, exactly. Gaming wise, obviously Spider-Man. I've been trying to get it in like every time. I put it in the living room. Like because I had taken my PlayStation on the road to play and didn't get to play it. I brought it home, put it in the living room. So when this like, don't let it be quiet for like 3 minutes. You hear that like beep, like of the PS4 starting up.
I haven't seen Sabbath Gray pop online so often. It's every time I'm on, it's like glink, and I just smile. I'm like, all right,
Yeah, all right. He getting it done. He being a bad parent.
There's some kid walking the streets right now.
So, somebody's in a doo-doo pamper. So I've been,
awesome.
like we said, been really enjoying that. And so and Clash Royale. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa. Tim,
Yes.
you got it?
Let's take a deep breath and let's do this.
Well, let's do it!
All right, here we go. New releases. NBA 2K19 for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
That's right.
Nefarious, PS4, Switch, Xbox One. Boundless for the PC, PS4. State of Decay 2 Daybreak pack for the PC and Xbox One. Time Carnage for the PC, Xbox One, and Switch. Construction Simulator 2 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
That sounds
dying to know what
as
Simulator
fun as
1 was
Flight
like.
Simulator, yeah.
That's right. Senran Kagura Reflections for the Switch.
Oh, good job.
Hey, there you go.
Bless you.
Bastion for
Genji
the
just
Switch.
did his ult.
That's right. Wasteland 2 Director's Cut for the Switch. Defunct for the Switch. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, PC, PS4, Xbox One. Black Clover Quartet Night for the PC, PS4.
It would be Tyler Perry presents
Exactly.
Black Quartet Night.
Black Clover Quartet
Nights.
Night.
Shoot oop.
That was good. Tyler Perry presents Black Clover Quartet Night for the PC and PS4.
They just standing outside the barbershop
That's right.
with a hat out.
It killed on the Chitlin circuit, and he had to.
Had to bring it to the mainstream. People got to see it.
Right.
That's right. Also, for the PS4, Xbox One, NHL 19. Raised for the PC and Xbox One. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, the Golden Country DLC for the Switch. And finally, Undertale for the Switch.
There you have
No
it.
oops, no NPD for August yet. Back to you.
Chris McCracken.
Well, we all know that Microsoft killed off the Kinect, but in a way, they're kind of bringing it back.
Really? Yay!
Yeah, because they're releasing an Xbox skill for Alexa and Cortana-enabled devices. So basically,
Boo.
you're going to be able to do the exact
just the
same things
Cortana
you could do with the Kinect, where you can say the things like by talking to your Alexa, or well, I don't even know what a Cortana-enabled device is besides the Xbox. Like, what has Cortana?
Like Windows.
Yeah,
10.
Windows. Yeah.
Oh, Windows has it.
Yep.
Oh, well, there. What do you learn something new every day? I had no idea that Windows has that. I guess it makes sense. But anyways, you can basically say things
And
like
she's
you can
awful,
start
by
your.
the way.
Is she
Yeah.
really?
Yes.
Oh, well.
She's
Oh, well.
she's the bottom of the big 3 or 4, whatever you want to call them, Google Assistant, Siri, Cortana, and whatever else is out there. She's the worst.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
like
wow.
at number 12.
Oh,
Nice.
jeez. Okay, well, there you go. Sorry about that, Cortana. So, anyways, for your Alexa, or your Amazon Dot, or your whatever you got over there, you'll be able to turn on the console. You'll be able to launch games. You'll be able to launch apps. You'll be able to start and stop your Mixer broadcasts, control volume, control media. So basically all the kinds of voice commands and prompts that you used to be able to do with the Kinect, you can now do through Alexa or, if you so desire, your Cortana-enabled device.
I like that.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are actually going to dig this because I feel like the Alexa implementation is probably going to be a bit better than the Kinect was anyway. Even though I feel like the Kinect was kind of shaping up to be pretty decent at it towards the end of its life. It's just that the people didn't want the actual thing itself, the camera anymore, which kind of sucks too because it was a really good camera. So like if you used it for your broadcast and stuff, like it was a really solid little HD camera on there.
Yeah. Well, what I like about it is, so I use Cortana for all that stuff. Like I use it to launch apps like games. I use it to turn up and down my television. I use it to switch to watching television. At some point I had it set up to where I could say like, hey, Cortana, watch ESPN, and it would change the channel to ESPN. You just have to like yell it like right at the Kinect, it feels like, and say it like a couple times to where it feels like it. And Alexa is just so amazing.
Yes. Much more responsive and hears you better and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, and understands you. So I love that they've brought this in because Cortana is a mess. And it's just a nice way to control your television. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's right now I think it's out for Xbox Insider program. So if you're involved with that, I think you can actually download this skill that you can then attach to your Alexa. And I think it's not been announced yet exactly when it's going to release, like just openly to everybody, but it shouldn't. I'm assuming it wouldn't be too far down the road. Probably by October, November, I would think. The things that go to the insiders first usually are with them maybe about a month, and then they start getting rolled out unless there's some big issue that they find or something crazy. So
Yep.
So Kinect still lives kind of in a way.
I like it. I like it. Should I start off with good news or sad news?
Sad.
Okay, let's get it out of the way. Man, Dr. Disrespect's house got shot at. If you guys don't know, Dr. Disrespect is a Twitch streamer. He's the guy with the glasses and the mustache, and we ran into him.
He won Trending Gamer a couple years ago, too.
That's right. He won
His
Trending
house
Gamer.
got shot at?
Yeah, a drive-by 2 days in a row. And so he was in the middle of streaming on the second day and heard the gunshots going off, obviously leaves the chair, comes back and is like, I have to end the broadcast. Someone shot at our house. He's got a wife and daughter, and I'm not sure exactly why something like this would be happening. Besides, obviously, that people are crazy, but I just don't understand like what that does. Is it just like my buddy Chico used to say he's from Philly and from the hood, and he said that Will Smith couldn't come back to the hood because people would try to beat him up just to say they beat up Will Smith.
Right.
And so I don't know if it's that kind of thing. Like, hey, man, you seen what happened? I shot at Dr. Disrespect tonight. But I feel like the gun thing is getting a little crazy. Like, we could just shoot at just whatever without any reasoning or like fear of somebody. Like, somebody could have really been hurt. They shattered a window. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they were shooting at the foundation or shooting at, you know what I'm saying? They shot out a window. And
where does he live? Like, is he on the West Coast?
He lives in California. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, do you want his address?
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously the police are involved and everything like that. But like, if you guys know, we say this all the time. If you see something, say something. If you got crazy friends, just talk them off the cliff, please, and or something. That I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with our little corner of the internet that says, come on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy, though. Nobody deserves, I don't care what happens, nobody deserves this. A similar story came out today about, did you guys hear about the proposal in Spider-Man?
Yes.
Where it says, like, Maddie, will you marry me or something like that? And turns out like they weren't even together anymore, and it was kind of like this guy's last ditch effort to try to be with this girl. And then this girl gets found out and she gets harassed so much that she got to shut down her social media. And it's like, what is going on? They're broken up. Yes, they were together for a while. It didn't work out. That's what happens. Like, yes, your life isn't Dr. Disrespect. Maybe you're jealous. Maybe, whatever. But what the heck? I don't even understand. Like, I can't even begin to understand.
Yeah. Well, it's not, and not even all of it. I mean, people just, they got mental problems, man. Regardless of, even, like, granted, it's not you actually physically going to that place and pulling out the gun and doing that, but just the people who do, like, swatting. It's like, what in the world are you thinking that people have died because of this? And you're just think it's like a joke, and it's a weird way to get your, somebody mention you or something, maybe, or just to be able to tell your friends, hey, you see that thing that got caught on that stream? That was me. I did that. It's like, come on, man. Like, really, what good is that going to do?
Yeah.
It's the one thing that I feel like the internet's been great for so many things and has elevated like just the world in so many different ways.
That's right.
But the one thing that it seems to consistently have done is just like you see so much on the internet that it's almost like some people just can't really wrap their heads around like, oh, this isn't just a thing I'm seeing on the internet. This is actual real life when I do these things or whatever.
Don't you feel like it's turned from, that's the whole reason Hollywood had to go to like, 615-555-3721 because people were actually trying to call Peter Pan. And so like, I feel like it's grown from that to whatever the internet's allowed us to like take our wildest fantasies and then like play them out. Like, why would you shoot at a streamer's house?
Yeah.
I just don't know what it does.
The line between like reality and what's on social media is definitely, it's
getting blurry.
Yeah, it's getting blurry, and a lot of it also, on the flip side of that is, I want to do this so that I can post this so that I get the views, so that I become popular, so that I can, say that I did this, and the other thing. And it sounds like that's a lot of it. It's like, yeah, I shut up, Dr. Disrespect's house. But like, where are you going with this? What's
right? What's even the cause? What's the basis?
What is even the point? If you want more likes, great. You're going to have likes for like a day. You'll be popular, and then you're right back to where you were.
And then you go to jail. Right.
Yeah. Have fun in jail. So what's the point here? That makes zero sense to me.
It's like the internet makes your, air quotes here, 15 minutes of fame feel like, oh, well, actually it's 30 minutes. I mean, it seems like it's getting your 15 minutes has been elevated in some weird way. It's like you're still at the end of the day, like it's here and it's gone, and then you probably got repercussions from that. It's like,
and that's what I'm saying. Like even on the internet, it's not, you don't even get 15 minutes. Like I feel like, Burt Reynolds, was it Burt Reynolds that passed away last week?
Yes.
Like he was the top of Twitter for like 5 hours. And you're like, Burt Reynolds died. And then it's like some other crazy stories up there.
Hurricane Florence comes in.
And then it's like, Cardi B tried to smack Nicki Minaj. You're like, really? That overtakes Burt Reynolds dying?
Yeah. Well, she threw a shoe, man. Come on. That's big news.
I know.
Ridiculous.
Seriously.
On another sad note, R.I.P. to Mac Miller. Awful.
I know. What the freak, man.
It's complete waste and completely unnecessary. And,
I know.
And it sucks. And I hope people learn from this.
And,
again, exactly.
Jeez, so, I'm sorry. We're having the same like every 2 weeks, it feels like.
I know, right? Back to Cardi B throwing shoes. Let's go.
Right. Anyway, I'm done with that story. I just, thoughts, I don't even say thoughts and prayers, but just thoughts up to Dr. Disrespect's family. And just know that there's people behind you. I know you're not listening to this, but there's people behind you, man. And you obviously provide entertainment for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Keep doing your thing, and hopefully this doesn't get you down and maybe move.
Yeah, and he's gone through some stuff too, and he's been very open about it. And,
that's right. He took a break last year.
Exactly. Good for him for being transparent, taking a break and doing his thing, and then this happened. So it's like, come on.
Exactly. Christopher.
Yes.
What else you got?
So a little bit more information about Nintendo's online service has kind of come to light. So I think they mentioned this early on that not every single game would be supported by. Is that something that they mentioned when they first started talking about the online service?
They didn't say all games wouldn't be having cloud saves. They said that, like, they worded it in the way it was like almost all games or majority of games or most games will have. You know what I'm saying? They kind of, put that light spin on it, but I don't think anybody really paid attention to that.
Right.
Well,
until
I do know,
this last week.
Yeah, because cloud saves is one of the big things that the majority of people that were going to get the online service we're kind of looking the most forward to because there's no version of it right now. So basically, you only can save things to your Switch. And please, Gabe, jump in and correct me if I say anything wrong here. But you can only save them to your Switch and or the SD card that you put inside there, correct?
Something like that.
So basically, any of your saved data, like if your Switch dies,
says the Switch owner.
If your Switch dies, your save data has died, because I don't even think you can take a SD card out of the Switch and put it in another Switch, and I don't think that it works because I don't think you can transfer your.
Yeah, you can't transfer it yet.
Really?
Yeah. So cloud save was going to be the one way for them to kind of get around that, and it turns out that there's some of the bigger games on the Nintendo Switch are not going to be able to utilize cloud saves. It's not going to on Splatoon 2. You're not going to be able to utilize cloud saves. Dark Souls Remastered is not going to be able to use it. FIFA 19 is not going to be able to use it. And it seems like it's centered around mostly multiplayer games where the cloud save stuff doesn't really work. Mm-hmm. Nintendo actually came out, and it looks like it's because Nintendo is afraid that there's ways to exploit the backups to get like some type of advantage inside the multiplayer.
It's because
stuff.
Every console of theirs have been homebrewed like a beast the last 10 years.
Yeah. Well, basically, I mean, they came out and their reasoning for it and their quote about it is, it says the vast majority of Nintendo Switches will support cloud backup. However, certain games with this feature would make it possible to, for example, regain items that had been traded to other players, which I didn't even know that was a thing, revert to a higher online multiplayer ranking after you had lost, and so to ensure fair play, cloud save data and backup may not be used on such games. So I'm taking that to mean that, at least for the foreseeable future, like, probably most multiplayer games that are multiplayer focused are probably not going to have cloud saves built into there. I mean, I only know about the ones that they've mentioned here, but like Splatoon 2 is a big one. Like, there's people that are putting hundreds of hours into this game, and if their Switch dies, it's just like, oh well, your ranking's gone.
That's what I thought about the Pokemon games.
The Pokemon games aren't going to have it, I don't think.
Yeah, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee like won't have cloud saves. And you're like, these games are about to be like, just time sucks for people.
But you know what's crazy is I think that it's not in this article that I have, but I was reading another one, and I think that like ARMS, it does have it, which is a multiplayer, you punch each other kind of thing. It's like, well, why can that one have it and Splatoon 2 can't?
That's or so
vice
weird.
versa. Now, granted, I will say, yes, Nintendo's online service is only like $20 for a year. It's the cheapest of them all. And so you could say, well, you get what you pay for. You're not paying a lot of money. So I guess it's good you're not out a ton of money and you're not getting this stuff for everything else that you have. But it's like, man, this feels like something that they're just going to figure out down the road, right? They just don't have it figured out yet.
I don't know, man. Not off that reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're the first ones coming up with multiplayer. I mean, other people have figured it out. I don't get why they can't.
Or why, and again, because I don't have a Switch and I'm a little bit ignorant here. It's like, what? So Splatoon 2, like, why is that not just tied to your account? Why does that data have to save to the console or the SD card? Why is that not saved in a cloud or like on their server side? Because you're logging into that, are you not? I don't know. It makes my brain hurt to try to think of it. I mean, because when I log into Overwatch, it doesn't matter which PS4 I do, as long as I'm logged into my account, like all that information is server side. So I guess that is the cloud technically, and I guess like that's Blizzard's cloud, that's not Nintendo's cloud, but or PlayStation's cloud. But I don't know. Yeah, it makes my head hurt, and I feel bad for people who are super looking forward to like having their Splatoon data backed up and all these other games. And hopefully it's just a temporary thing that they're just needing to figure out. And in the meantime, they're trying to save face by wording it around some weird like, oh, you could
almost all
do this other thing, so we don't want to have it.
We don't want to have it. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Gee willikers.
So we've talked, this is just a quick note. We've talked about The Witcher and Henry Cavill a couple times now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And or
we
just
talked
once
about
to
this game.
Christopher's.
We remembered it once.
Exactly. Here's what's funny and interesting, I thought. So we've all been talking about his mustache and all that. Mm-hmm. And I guess the series is going to be more following the source material, the books, not the video game. The video game is what gave him the full-time beard. In the books, he actually wants to be clean shaven. And so we wouldn't have to worry about Henry Cavill with a beard or mustache. Because in the books, I guess it talks about him like being out in the wilderness and his beard getting long and him hating it, and so he cuts it. And so I guess he likes to stay clean shaven, not with the beard.
Interesting.
Look at that.
Also, side note, John Hamm wants to play Batman. So
Oh, well, there you go.
Who's John Hamm? I feel like I know that name, but I'm
John
not.
Hamm was in Mad Men and
Yeah.
the boyfriend
Oh,
on
yeah,
Bridesmaids. Anyway,
Well, I don't know about Bridesmaids, but I know the other one.
yeah.
He wants to be
Gotcha.
Batman? Really?
He said he'd be interested in playing Batman if the script was right.
That's great. I'd be interested too. Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
I know. I was always wondering about that, like how Hollywood works. Like, because we heard Henry Cavill say he'd be interested in playing The Witcher. Next thing you know, he's playing
He's
The
in
Witcher.
Right.
And so I don't know if that's like, people can just put things out into the ether.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I wouldn't mind having $1 million if, my house was good. Like, I don't know how that works.
And done.
Exactly. You got to name it and claim it.
Right.
Christopher, you go.
Yeah, so Destiny is a game that has been known to have a lot of glitches.
Oh, man.
You can figure stuff out. And so
Christopher.
this coming weekend, I think it's this coming Friday, is when because the new Destiny expansion, the Forsaken Destiny 2 expansion, the Forsaken has dropped, and the first raid that's tied to that is supposed to go live, I think, this coming Friday. And so people have found ways to already glitch into areas of the raid. And not only that, they've been able to find chests that are in there, and they've been able to open them and obtain the loot.
No way.
Wow.
Yes.
Why even buy it?
And then Destiny, or Bungie, I mean, they came out and they said, okay, yes, we can confirm people have been able to glitch their way in and get some of this loot. We've suppressed those chests so that they're now isolated and nobody can get into them before the raid. But the people who were able to get in there and get them, we won't be taking away your stuff. You just get to keep it.
What?
Yeah. So,
right.
I mean,
Wow.
I'm sure those people are super happy, but I'm just like, you know what? This is par for the course for Destiny. It's a new expansion. Where can we glitch? And then things happen. And you can get in areas
That's
that you're not
funny.
supposed to
Is
get
that
to.
like
and-
walk against a wall until it breaks?
Yeah,
or how
and
does
that's
that
the other
work?
crazy thing. Like, how do people figure this stuff out? I have no idea. Because they'll be over and, if you hop on one leg 3 times and then you do a little shimmy and twirl
Exactly.
around 18 more times, you could go
Yeah.
through this wall.
Totally.
So funny.
Okay, it's not as easy as back in the day where you're like, jump on this white block and duck for 4 seconds and you'll fall through the
Yep.
map and keep running.
Exactly.
Oh, that's funny. So we've talked about The Witcher coming to television. Alan Wake looks like it's going to be
Yeah.
making its way to television as well.
Really?
It's landed a writer, Peter Calloway, who did Cloak and Dagger and Legion. And he's going to be helping with the adaptation along with Alan Wake writer Sam Lake. So I love that the original
collabo.
writers
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are
Mhm.
going to be involved. And Alan Wake, strangely enough, is a scary game I bought and played. I did
Wow.
enjoy it. It was scary. I will say
it's
that.
creepy.
I did not-
I never got to play it. I've always, it's one of those ones I was like, man, I heard a lot of good things about this game.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people liked Alan Wake. I don't think it ever had a proper sequel, did it?
Yeah, American Nightmare or Alan Wake's
Was that
something
just
Nightmare.
Was that just digital or something?
I think you're right, Ed. I think that was retail. It was a full.
Crazy.
I don't know. I know it was free on
somebody look
Games
it
with
up.
Gold a couple years ago.
You know
That's
it
why
was
I
what?
have it. It was free on Games with Gold a few years ago because I have it.
Oh,
Alan
okay.
Wake's something Nightmare.
There
I
you
think
go.
you're right. I think American Nightmare.
That wasn't just
Sounds-
like an expansion or anything, was it? Like the Undead Nightmare for Red Dead? I don't know
Oh,
if
I don't
Alan
know.
Wake is like an open world game. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't play the second one.
Gotcha.
Alan Wake's American Nightmare. It looks just like a DLC. It doesn't really look like a. I don't know.
Interesting.
It might
Yeah,
be
I
a
don't know
full
either.
story. I have no idea.
I got no idea. Oops us.
I didn't beat the first one, so
Yeah, I didn't either.
but I did enjoy it.
Isn't it by and the same people that made Quantum Break? Didn't they make that game? Remedy?
Remedy. Yep,
Yep.
Nice.
that's right. Good job.
Mhm.
What else you got, Christopher?
The last thing that I have, and just because I thought it was a kind of cool little thing, it looks like the PlayStation 4 is going to be getting a new version of Samurai Showdown, which is a fighting game that was really popular back in the day. Back when I used to go to the arcades and stuff all the time. I loved this game because there's one. I don't remember their names, but it was on the Neo Geo, and you would go to the arcade, and they had this one character inside Samurai Showdown that had a dog. So like he'd be fighting and then he could stick his dog on the bad guys. I loved playing that guy and his dog. I don't remember what his name was or anything, but I thought that was super cool. So ahead of the Tokyo Game Show, which I think is here in a couple of weeks, SNK, which is the developer, they released a teaser trailer for Samurai Showdown. And it looks like, at least initially, it's going to be exclusive to the PlayStation 4. And it's going to be releasing sometime in 2019.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, so I thought that was really, really cool. Yeah, and they've not had the last... oh, sorry.
Is it going to be called Samurai Spirits? Or is it going to be called Samurai Showdown?
As far as I can tell, it's only going to be called Samurai Showdown. Samurai Spirits is what it's called in Japan.
Gotcha.
It has a different name over there. And the last proper... Samurai Showdown game that came out was in 2008, and it was on the Xbox 360. So it's been a while.
Yeah, it has. Wow. Nice. I like that. The last thing I have, and it's funny because I saw this story and I actually have noticed it. Niantic said that there's been a 35% increase in active users on Pokemon Go since May.
Yeah, that's weird, huh?
That is weird.
What was that about?
I know, but what's weirder than that is like, over this last 2 weekends, I've been seeing a lot of people play Pokemon Go, and I was like, I didn't know anybody was still playing this game.
Is it because they're still releasing like new Pokemons in the world?
I don't know.
Well, don't they also? There was something that came out recently with the Switch. Wasn't that the little game you were playing where that somehow it goes back and forth between Pokemon Go and the other one?
Pokemon Quest.
Yeah, something.
Oh yeah,
something like that. Maybe that's caused even more interest or something. I don't know.
I can't imagine. I don't know what it is, but I it's just weird. I saw the title and I was like, oh yeah, I have been seeing that around.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, Eduardo.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
Well, over on the YouTubes, new this week.
Yes.
The Tiger Claw strikes.
Ooh.
You want to watch Tim Router break a board?
That's on our YouTube channel?
Yeah, I threw that up there for you.
Oh shoot, I'm going there right now.
You better
listen to anything anybody says.
You better stop what you're doing.
He falls
and
down
go.
at the end. I got a splitter in my heel.
That's right.
Oh snap!
It's only like 15 seconds.
Don't sell it short, Router.
You're in an outfit and everything. You are so adorable.
I got the gear and everything.
Oh my gosh! Look at you, looking like Piper out there.
That's right.
Talk about some hi-ya.
Hi-ya.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Someone is trying to overthrow the chubby ninja secretly.
I know. Yeah, right.
It could be a conspiracy.
That's right.
Oh, man.
I know you're lightning fast, Gabe.
Also
awesome.
up there, I tried out God of War 3. Parts 1 and 2 are up there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm glad Spider-Man came out.
And that's as far as it went.
I was bad at that game. I was enjoying it. I was just really bad at it. And then we got Spider-Man parts 1 through 10. I loved watching Chris play through this game. It's just so much fun to hear. I've watched so many people stream Spider-Man this week. It's been insane. Yes, and I just love hearing people experience it for the first time. And Chris's is no exception. Just the first time he swings, the first time he does a takedown, the first time he uses the impact web. It's just watching him take down a guy and just hearing that Chris McCracken cackle. I love it.
That's good
so
stuff.
much.
Which, real quick, just to back up for a second, because from somebody who had never played God of War, it's like night and day difference from the one you played recently, right?
So different.
It's like, it's so nuts how different it is.
You had to have been hating it.
Just the fact that the right stick doesn't control the camera, it controls his roll. And my guy was rolling like a maniac all over the place.
Oh my god.
That would be insane.
It's so different. You were right. Chris told me ahead of time. He was like, just so you know, this is a different game. And he was correct. Looking at our top 10 YouTube videos for this week, combining the average watch time and views, week of September 5 through 11. Number 10, Hugh Part 5, Red. Of
course.
Number 9, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yes. Number 8, Hugh Part 9, Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Ori and the Blind Forest Part 14, Thornfelt Swamp.
Not gonna do it.
Number 6, Hugh Part 7, Yellow.
Mm.
Number 5, Hot Ones Challenge number 2, Gabe.
Oh, snap.
Nice.
All right. Come watch me burn my mouth up, make terrible decisions.
Right?
What an awful idea.
Oh, so much fun to watch. Watching it is a great idea, and everyone should do it.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe.
Man. I'm pretty sure.
I'll
if
tell you
it's on
this much.
YouTube, we're watching it.
I'll tell you this much. I got some Chipotle the other night, and they were like, would you like medium or hot? I was like, man, throw that hot on there.
There you go.
But I know I was 2 bites into that thing, like,
Flashbacks.
why did I
Immediately
get the
regret.
hot? I should have got the bile. Ooh, I can't
I've
do
made a
hot
huge
stuff.
mistake.
Exactly.
You've been scarred.
Because I get some milk.
That's hilarious. Number 4, Hugh Part 4, Pink. Number 3, Watch Dogs 2, Part 19, Paint Job. Number 2, Hugh Part 10, University. Number 1, Hugh
Game and
Part
Chris react to the
11,
Last of Us.
Ending. So good, it got on there twice.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, Eduardo.
You betcha.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked, what's your favorite video game gimmick? Over on Twitter, we got Nerdish67 at DSpin67. Microtransactions and DLC. Hashtag sarcasm.
Oh, I like DLC.
I would say it was a gimmick, but DLC that actually adds some value to a game. The Hot Wheels DLC in Forza Horizon 3. Awesome.
Yes.
There you go. Jacob Hammond at Real Big Kong. I liked the Wiimote and the Kinect. I lost 35 to 40 pounds using the Kinect.
Hey,
Wow,
there you go.
nice.
If you could have combined the Wii controller with the Kinect, I think I would have been so much better. Good job, Jacob.
Right?
Man, you should have sent your story to him, man. You could have been the new Jared. Without the weird stuff.
Minus all the weirdness.
Yeah. Jeremy at Jeror45.
Hashtag life goals. I want to be the new Jared.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Maybe be the new Jerry.
There you go.
I was a huge fan of the rewind time mechanic in Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. So cool. Also, the dimension shift in Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver was pretty amazing. Hashtag I'm old. What did Tim think of the Big Bang? Hashtag not as old as Tim.
There you go.
Trolled by the community.
Always.
Over on Facebook, Ian Corey Drake. I love a good weight screen gag, like Sonic tapping his foot.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
a good one.
yeah.
You know what? I want to make that the question of the week next week. What is your favorite idol? What is your favorite idol
A golden calf.
animation? Yeah, spelled different.
Okay.
That'll be next week. Daniel Ferrugia. Farrugia. All right. I was originally going to write legacy games where subsequent playthroughs are affected by what you choose to do in current games. But although I love the idea, the reality is that the weight of what I'm doing now, changing the game for me further down the track, stresses me out. I've been unwilling to play the board game Pandemic Legacy again for this reason. That's hilarious. I like that. Ben Palmer, cameos. I love when a game or franchise makes a call out to a previous game from the developer or even from another franchise altogether. Shows the love developers have for each other.
Yes.
I like that. They were telling us, speaking of that, they were telling us while we were at Universal that the Simpsons ride now used to be Back to the Future at Universal. Right. And so in the Simpsons ride, if you look at one point when you're flying through the air, there's actually the clock tower from Back to the Future in the animation of the Simpsons.
Nice. That's great.
As a throwback. And he said there's a bunch of stuff like that all throughout Universal that pays homage to the ride that was there before it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So like in The Mummy, they have, if you look over, there's, when they're showing all the gold treasure, there's a big gorilla because King Kong was in there before The Mummy was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I love that stuff. Yeah, man. That stuff is great.
Over on Discordia, Mark Boucher, I'm going with the N64 Rumble Pack without a C in pack to add its cool factor. It was not only a great gimmick when originally bundled with Star Fox 64, but also became a pioneer for force feedback vibration, which is now a staple of every console controller. Very, very true. I like that. Putty. In general, second screen experiences. Sometimes it's an additive feature and sometimes a different thing altogether. Additive for Black Flag, in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you could send ships on missions without needing to go to your captain's quarters. Different entirely, Battlefield 4 had an awesome one called Commander, where one person could give all the squad leaders instructions, which would then filter down to every player in their squad. Calmed Fury. My favorite gimmick has been summed up nicely by Giant Bomb many times. When the numbers get bigger, whether it's a health bar or the amount of damage I'm doing or the number of enemies I'm facing, bigger numbers equals more fun.
Oh, nice. I like that.
I like that too. Last one, Bernabe Hurricane Butters. Oh, man. Limit breaks. When Final Fantasy VII introduced them, they were revolutionary, a way to have a special move without sacrificing MP or whatever your special move points are. Today, you see equivalents in pretty much all types of games, usually a bar that fills up over time. Then you have that special/ultimate that you can use. Even Overwatch has them. Nice.
Very cool.
That makes sense. Thank you guys so much for the answers. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the game. Come join the MTTG community group. Twitter.com/MTTG cast. Of course, marriedtothegames.com. Sold some shirts this week. Thank you.
Nice.
It's also getting to be hoodie weather.
Whoa, we got some hoodies over there. Chris McCracken loves his. He loves his, and he bought his in the summertime.
I'm wearing it now.
Yes. Like Ed said, YouTube.com/married to the games, and on Patreon at patreon.com/MTTG. And remember, we are about to start forming Voltron, which is going to look like our Extra Life group, extra-life.org/team/MTTG. And we might have to do it on a different day. I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but I'm going to be busy on the actual Extra Life day. And so we talked about flirting with doing it a tad bit earlier. We'll see what happens. Woo.
There you go.
Woo. And Router.
Rate us on iTunes so we can all hang out with Stephen Baldwin and Justin Bieber on the bus and talk about Spider-Man and Jesus, because that makes just about as much sense.
Nice.
Well, I should have brought those both up. Be like, you know what? While we're talking about walking on water, have you guys been swinging around in this Spider-Man game?
Have you seen this?
Well, let's get into some questions.
Alrighty, let's start with Discord. Mr. Not So Kosher, and I haven't said his name in a while. In honor of this night show, let's get dark and dirty. Or not. I'm a pastor and probably shouldn't go there. Anywho, on this day in history, a bunch of boring stuff happened, so let's skip that too. So, happy Video Games Day. Wait, you guys already talked about and answer questions about them. So, happy National Report Medicare Fraud Day. Wow, really?
No
Is this a thing?
way.
Who makes up this stuff? Speaking of, that finally leads up to my actual final question.
Lord have mercy.
If you could create any holiday, what would it be, and which existing holiday would you obliterate and replace it with? Yours. Mine's going to be National Ban Lucas Ham Swisher Day for not getting to the point so quickly. And I'm replacing it with Christmas. Enjoy it.
National Have a Stroke While You're Typing Day.
Exactly. I'm going to take National Diabetes Awareness Day and change it to National Learn a Yo-Yo Trick Day.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
Eduardo?
I'll take, I'll make, I'm sure there's got to be a coffee one already.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
National Make Chemex Coffee Day and
Golly.
I got to get really specific because I'm sure there's probably. And we'll
you should make
Arbor
a throw
Day
out
away.
your Keurig day.
Oh,
That's what you should make. A
There you
throw
go.
out your
Throw out your
Keurig day.
Keurig Day, and we're replacing Arbor Day.
Oh, nice.
Arbor Day.
That's awesome.
That was funny. Chris McCracken?
Yeah, I'm killing Valentine's Day and making National Stop Wasting Money Day.
Hey.
Oh, Lord have mercy. What in the world is up with you on Valentine's Day?
Wow.
Valentine's Day is the dumbest
You are
thing in
such
the
a
world.
sweetheart.
And I am so blessed that I have a wife who thinks the same thing.
Yeah, that's
That
amazing.
is so
I don't
funny.
need no day to tell me I love my wife. I do
Seriously.
that already on the regular.
I know, but I just feel like it's a good day to get to buy him something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just like Tuesday. Or Wednesday. Or maybe Thursday.
I
You know
know, but
what's a
you're
good day?
you're
Friday.
You're a good husband.
Yes,
There's plenty of husbands out there that only do it on their birthdays, Christmas, and Valentine's Day.
I know.
Mm.
So I'm saying Valentine's Day is good for those that suck at being in relationships.
There you go. Yeah.
It is.
That's your Hey, that's your reminder, people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Oh, I got to treat her right come the 14th.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Awful. All right, let's move on. MTTG Street Team. Guys, I got in an online battle today with MTTG's very own historian.
Uh-oh.
There was lots of back and forth, and it was intense. Good news
Ooh.
is that it was a battle for first place in Ed's Twitch bit donations.
Hey.
So it got me thinking that this is love right here, love from our community. So it got me thinking that Lem is one of the absolute best guys out there. In
That's
fact,
right.
the MTTG community is full of similar people. So not really a question, but please take a quick second to tell us about someone in your life, in or out of the community, who, like Lem, is a joy to be around.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
That is
Where do you
beautiful.
start?
And we couldn't agree more. Lem, you are the man.
Yeah. You're awesome, Lim. And
Mhm.
Lim's
Yes.
got his oldest daughter is shaping up to be something else too.
Oh,
Yeah, she is.
That
isn't she?
video, woo,
I know. She even came to 300. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
She didn't even want to come.
it's awesome.
Let's see. Who
All
can we
right.
shout out?
Tell us about
Golly.
someone in your life who, like Lem, is a joy to be around.
Doggone it.
You know, I mean, I'm sure this is going to count for be around because we're all spread out all over the place. But I have to say, and I'm hope I'm not stealing this from Mr. Ed, but it is just a joy to play Overwatch with Mr. Jared Orr. And just to hear the
yes.
like the because like he gets up super early because of his job and he's like super responsible and he's just always like
Yes.
he's just a little happy light to be around. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yep.
I totally agree. Flying all over the place.
I know, right?
Had to land
Driving
his
that
plane
Mustang.
at 300. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm.
Wrestling. Who you got, Edward?
Well, Stansel's too obvious.
Yeah.
That's true.
Eddie's actually a pain to be around.
That's also very true. So
Literally.
I'm gonna go with Patrick Novosel. And
Oh.
he's just such an encourager, and he's just in the nicest way possible. He is like just your favorite dog in that he's always there. He's always happy to see you,
Yeah,
and when you're with him, you always feel better.
that's right.
So I gotta give a shout out to Patrick Novosel.
Yeah, good one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tim, who you got?
Man, I'm going to say this just because it might sound corny, but I do love our No Work Fridays, and Ed, the fact that you put that together, because I get to interact with some people then. Like we had Tim Paulin this past Friday.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like while we're watching the stream, we're also chatting and just being able to connect with everybody. And it's not 5 o'clock in the morning and nobody's up and around. And
Yeah.
just to be able to do that, I love doing that because, hey, who's going to be on this Friday? And it's just, Ed, you've created a great platform where a lot of us can just come in and say hi and just chat for a little bit and laugh and just have a great time. So thank you, and just thanks to everybody who always participates because it's always so much fun.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I don't know which brother this came from, but being around the Stapletons for two
Yes.
totally
Yes.
different reasons
yes.
totally gives me life.
Yeah.
Spencer
Uh-huh.
has got like this great big personality and loves to talk and ask questions and laugh. and you're not going to have a bad time with Spencer, right? And then you get with Josh, and he's got this incredibly huge heart, and so you get to talk about things that are deep, and he brings up ideas that you're like, oh man, that would be awesome. Like, it was his idea at 200 to get all those games together for the kids at the hospital. You know what I mean? So so I would say thank you to the Stapletons' mom, because I'm sure their dad didn't have anything to do with it, for creating such amazing men to be able to hang out with. And all of us have obviously gotten the opportunity to hang out with them. I've gotten the opportunity to hang out with them in their hometown and stuff like that. So I'm going to say the Stapletons, man. That's some good people.
That's a good one.
Josh is so good at being a random encourager.
Yeah, man.
Like, he will send you a message out of nowhere that's exactly what you need to hear.
That's right. That's right.
At the right time. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
And they're both so engaging too. Like, it was funny when, at 300, just in the brief time that Lauren was there, Spencer was talking with her, and I heard the conversation, and he's just engaging with her. And like, he doesn't know her as much, but he's just there. He's with her. Like, he's just listening and just so engaging. And Lauren even said, man, you've got a great bunch of people in there. I'm like, I know.
Ooh, wee.
So it's really cool.
This community is full of them.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of nuts because we could probably do another round or two.
Yeah, I know.
I
feel bad now because I could honestly say.
Okay, let's all just name one more. Everybody just name one more. Chris, name one more.
Raven Fed.
Yeah.
Which he's not like super involved in the community as much as he was in the other days because he got a lot going on. In fact, he just got married recently.
Hey,
but man,
congratulations!
Awesome.
Awesome.
He was always so much fun to hang out and cut up with. Man, the times we would have just playing Destiny alone.
Yep.
Awesome.
Ed?
I'm saying Tim mentioned him, Tim Paulin.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
He's been a real joy to hang out with lately online, and been very, very cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna do like Chris, another oldie but a goodie. I'm going with the Mighty Paolo.
Mighty Paolo.
The early
Mighty
days
Paolo,
the early days of Married to the Games, man. He was around and constantly writing into the show and answering questions and playing online. And he's down there fighting cancer, you know what I'm saying, as a scientist.
Amazing.
Right?
And so, trying to find the cure. And so I got to give it up to Mighty Paolo. Tim, you got somebody else you can name?
I got Morning Crew, man. I know I haven't been around for them, but Kabowski and Arctic Warlocks, like, they're just awesome. Like, if I'm up, they're like, boop, hello. And so we just get that. It's just awesome. I love my Morning Crew.
I played the Battlefield beta with Arctic Warlocks just the other day.
Oh, nice.
Oh, awesome.
Gonna jump in with them on Blackout hopefully soon too.
This community is full of amazing people. And like Chris said, I feel like literally we each could name 5 to 10 people and they wouldn't be the same 5 to 10 people.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Honestly, we need this so bad. We need communities like this so bad. I feel like you said it earlier, Gabe, like we're at this tiny corner of a larger community and we need to be way bigger into this whole culture because it gets sickening after a while.
Yeah,
when you just see all these different comments on chats and videos, and it's just
yeah. I feel like the internet needs this community, and it's not because of us, but because of the community.
Exactly.
And you listen to the podcast, and you hear a lot of the same names week after week, and we know that there are more people who listen. And if you've been listening for a while, man, drop us a line or shoot us a tweet or message us on Facebook because we would love for you to be one of those names that we mention week after week as well. We want to we want to get to know everyone that's out there.
That's right. I love that.
I love
Spider-Man.
That's perfect. Stephen Baldwin. All right. Onward and upward. Putty. What is something you learned in one game that you now do in other games? I was one of the unfortunate people that played Skyrim on PS3. Right there with you, brother. Which was notorious for having a growing save game, capable of getting to the point where it could cripple your game. A solution I heard was to close doors behind you so the game wouldn't have to remember to keep it open. I now do this in any game that has functional doors. Wow. Interesting. I did not see that one coming.
I've never even heard of that.
No.
So just rephrase the question again. I want to make sure I'm answering it right.
So what is something that you learned in one game that you now do in other games? Like a habit, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I feel like and it's funny because I didn't start doing it till recently in Spider-Man. I was going in guns blazing on Spider-Man and also dying a lot. And I feel like I've implemented a lot of the things that I did in Batman in Spider-Man. Like as far as
there you go.
attacking from the rafters instead of like going in swinging, which is fun too. But like I've really, as I've grown in the game, grown to really love the stealth aspect of it just as much as the beat 'em up.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, Assassin's Creed and Far Cry with the stealth part of it, like I'm the same way, Gabe. Instead of just going in, I'm like, all right, there you are, pow, pow, pow. Like going in and just kind of working around the scene, seeing who all is there before actually making your attack. So strategizing a little bit more and just trying to get the lay of the land before you go in, and then you're way more efficient in your attack, and you can just knock everything out. So.
That's right. Chris, what got you? What say you?
I can't think of like a thing that I do in each game. So I think this will kind of fit the question. But one thing that I will do on every first-person shooter I start to play, if they have this ability to change this and if it kind of makes sense based on the scheme for that game, I will go in and I will change the settings to where my melee is on circle, and then I crouch or go prone if the game has that by pushing in on the right stick. Because most games, the default for melee is pushing down on the right stick. I always change that. I learned that from Call of Duty because back in the day anyways, there was this mechanic that was really good, evasive mechanic, and would help you win a lot of gunfights is you would hold down on the right stick and the character would kneel and then go prone, and they'd do it really fast. But you could keep aiming down sights and shooting, so people would be missing you because you'd be going to the ground, but you'd still be shooting them. So I got to where I started doing that in every FPS game if it had it. Like it doesn't, I don't even know that it has the ability, but like it doesn't make sense in a game like Overwatch because you don't go prone at all. But if it's like Battlefield or anything else where it's more militaristic like that, I will totally switch it to those. Even though I don't do the dropping all that often, I just always have that, like having the melee on circle. It makes it feel a little bit more earned because another big thing that kind of got stolen or said a lot was that it would be panic knifing because in Call of Duty it was a one-hit kill if you knifed somebody. And I liked feeling more like I earned that, like I did that strategically rather than panicking and doing it. I don't know, it was a self-congratulatory kind of thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, it's funny, I changed Soldier 76's run to the left, like the L3.
Oh, really?
Because Call of Duty, I'm used to sprinting with that.
Yep.
Oh,
and because in Overwatch, you can change
I'm surprised I haven't done that.
you can change each character's buttons in Overwatch for those that haven't played it. So I switched his to that, and it helps immensely instead of it being on
good idea.
Yeah.
That's really good.
What you got, Ed?
I can't remember what game it was I started doing this in. I think it might have been Max Payne.
Okay.
I'm sorry. When
I liked Max Payne.
I loved Max Payne.
It depends on which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
the first one.
Oh, the first one's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
The third one's a little lackluster.
I don't think I
never
played
got
the
that
third
far.
one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Case in point.
But when I'm going through places that have functional doors, I'll always go left, just so I remember which way I've gone.
Oh, nice.
And I have everything explored. And I'll always leave doors open so I'll know that I've been in there.
That's right.
Yep, exactly.
And you're killing your loading time.
Yeah, that's interesting about the Skyrim though. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Me either.
I half expected you to say, in every game I go in, I look for the coffee pot.
Oh, yeah. You definitely do that now.
You do that now, that's for sure.
I love that. We need to make a photo book, a photo journal.
Right?
Oh, it's a coffee table book.
It's called twitter.com.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Facebook. Daniel, hi. Who is the most cheerful person you know? Describe him or her.
Cheerful? Maybe Byron, Mr. Talkbox Chambers. He was
Nice.
He was in our group in Diverse City with Toby and us for I don't even know how many years it was. Maybe 4 or 5 years. And like he's just the first one that's gonna smile at you and laugh and want to tell a joke and agree along with you, which everybody loves. So you're like blah 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 blah. And he's like yeah. Like he kind of like eggs you on like as you're telling your story. And so he's
that's awesome.
He was just the best. And if you want to hear him in action, he's the very beginning of 24 Karat Magic on Bruno Mars.
That's right.
That talk box that you hear, that's Mr. Talk
That's
Box.
awesome.
Yeah. What say you, Edward?
It's got to be Sarah.
I was about to say,
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
because she was going to be mine until I thought of Byron.
Trump.
She's just she just loves being with people and being around people, and yeah, she's just a light.
Yeah, except she's painfully bashful. Just kidding.
That's right. You can't. She'll get over it one day, but when she does,
I know.
she's gonna
Work
shine.
on that,
Can't
man.
wait for her to come out of her shell. She's going to be a star.
That's right.
That's right.
Christopher?
I'm kind of going down the same way. For me, it's Stacy though. She can just see something to be cheerful about in almost anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Especially
really
if animals are involved. Oh my gosh, she'll get so giddy.
Timothy?
You know what? I'm going back to our community, and I'm going to say Mr. Noah Patterson.
Oh,
yeah.
man,
That
what
man-
a good guy. Doggone
That
it.
man,
Another good
and
name?
I've hung out with him quite a bit, and that man always has a smile on his face.
Yeah.
He's always super positive.
His wife too.
And yeah,
That's right,
Shireen is
Shireen,
yeah.
awesome. They're just a great couple. So a shout out to you guys as well. And he just
And
popped
please
into
run
my
for
head. I'm
president.
like, yeah, please.
Yeah.
His smile just popped right in my head as soon as it said most cheerful person. So
Aw.
that's awesome.
That's right. I
That
like
is
that.
cool.
Very good question. Travis Pospisil. Here we go. How many concussions do you think Mario has had?
That's a
billion.
funny question.
He doesn't even
yes.
have a brain anymore.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
That's right.
Too
Yep.
many. Yeah.
That's right. Steven Sable, which one of you is the worst offender in regards to retakes? You know, say something wrong and wanting another shot at it. If it were me, I'm guessing I'd put out 30 minutes of material for every 2 hours recorded. Hashtag me talk pretty one day.
None of us.
For the most part, I think, you know what? I think the only one is probably Gabe, because every once in a while he'll sneak in a little cheeky joke and he'll be like, I'm going to take that out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
It's because I'm the editor, and so I know I can do
Right.
it.
Right,
If
you
it
can
was
do it
a
really
week I
fast.
wasn't editing, I don't trust anybody else to actually take out.
Yep, that's
A
But
awesome.
yeah,
joke
we
I
really
tell.
don't, not really
No.
because of mistakes or anything. We pretty much just, if you haven't been able to tell, we pretty much just let it
Yeah,
fly.
let it ride. Yeah.
We are one take wonders over here.
Yeah,
so
if you ever wondered what the podcast sounds like completely unedited, it's just coughs and sniffs. Like I literally, me and Ed meticulously go through and take out every sniff or cough or sneeze that somebody does.
most of that's mine.
Yeah. So if you ever hear a sneeze or a cough, it's because I've fallen asleep while I'm editing and didn't feel like going back and listening over again.
That's so funny.
There is nothing that kills me more than listening back to a released podcast I edited and hearing me cough, and I'm like,
Oh,
come
missed
on.
it. Yeah,
Missed
exactly.
it.
Get your head out of your butt, Edward.
You're the
That's
worst.
right. You're awful. That's so awesome.
That's good.
That's good. Mike Peacott, thank you for posting my question on the last show. You four are awesome. Have you ever platinumed a game twice, meaning the original and PS3 and then the remaster on PS4, etc.? I platinumed Burnout Paradise, and I'm 2 trophies away from platinuming the remaster.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Woo. That's a plat.
Yeah, well done.
The answer is
And-
no.
Yeah, no, negatory.
No.
I barely platinum in the first place.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I don't think I ever have. I don't have a plat yet.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
never played
Well,
since yet.
outside of Telltale.
Walking Dead. Yeah.
Yeah,
Telltale gives
I played
you
those
plat.
on the Xbox.
yeah. So he doesn't have one at all.
Snap. You have 0?
You have
Well,
0. No way.
This week ain't done yet.
Yeah, it sure
there
isn't,
you go.
baby.
Get that
Have you looked
Spidey
at
plat.
Spider-Man?
Well, let me blow your mind. I plugged
I
in a
have.
hard drive. He's modded.
that was so good. Oh, my gosh. Oh.
I am 4 trophies away from my
Really?
Spider-Man plat. Yes.
From Spider-Man?
Nice.
Yes.
No
Go,
way.
boy. Go,
Hey,
go, go.
that's an awesome first one to get.
It is.
Or
It is.
amazing, I
So
should say.
how hard are the 4 that you're talking about?
Not hard. 2 of them, I believe, are just for finishing the game.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. So it's not really a grind.
It's really not. And the other 2 are for doing all the missions in Manhattan, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
that's
you
awesome.
got that crap.
Nice. Yeah, because I already was like, yeah, I'm probably getting this platinum. So
Yeah. If it
that's
was
encouraging.
Was it Horizon where it was like get a perfect score in every challenge? I'm like,
Yes.
I can't do
Yes,
that. I
yeah.
can't.
Why would they have you do that?
That
Oh
took
yeah, I'm
me
supposed to be playing Horizon.
It
Yeah,
took me
that's
an hour. Yeah, how's that going?
Not good.
Yep.
I'm never gonna finish that freaking game.
No,
Doggone
you won't.
it. I'm so bad.
Nope.
I have
Awesome.
not. Was a question specifically about getting a platinum in two
Yeah,
different games?
Have
A
you
platinum twice.
Yeah, a platinum twice. One from an older generation,
gotcha.
and then maybe
No,
possibly a remaster.
I didn't even honestly pay any attention to trophies in the PS3 days. It wasn't until PS4 that I started paying attention. And
Me
honestly,
too. Really?
I think the only PS3 game that I've also played on PS4 is The Last of Us.
Yeah,
and
me
I
too.
wasn't wasting my time
right.
getting that platinum. Nah, man.
Man,
That-
you
that
know,
ain't for me.
I don't know if I've ever replayed a game on different consoles.
Really?
Like
Interesting.
I played Final Fantasy VII over, but that was still on the PS1.
But you're gonna play it on PS5. Ho!
Yeah, please don't wait that long. Gosh, come on.
Coming October 2018.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm so glad it's coming out in 2 weeks.
That's right. Right.
Hmm.
Can't
That was a good question, Mike. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
Matthew Serta, what was the last video game you absolutely hated, but still somehow put in 10 to 12 hours of 10 to 20 hours of gameplay? And by the way, Warcraft exists and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's because we never talk about it. Yeah, Shaq Fu. I did not
yeah,
like.
that's right. You did not like that.
Now it wasn't 10 to 20 hours though. But
Yeah.
I will say I struggled through. You know what? I can say I probably struggled through the first 10 hours of Zelda without loving it yet. I struggled through the first 10 hours of Persona 4 without loving it yet. And both of those games, I put in almost 100 hours. So I ended up liking them at the end. But I don't know if I've put in 10 to 20 hours into something I didn't like. And that being the completion of it. Shaq Fu would be the closest thing. Chris, you don't play games you don't like?
No, he's out.
Typically, I don't. I will say, though, I feel like the first probably 2 playthroughs of Hellblade, I was not feeling it, but it was really more about because I just wanted to get I wanted to platinum it, and the dang trophy that was ticking me off.
Oh, yeah.
That's
right.
right.
Giving me headaches. It wasn't so much the game, even though there was a few things I didn't like in the first time. But like I said, that game totally grew on me. And it wasn't for trying to get the platinum, I wouldn't have played it 3 times. But I'm actually really glad I did because I think back on it super fondly now. I'm really glad that I went through that.
Nice. Tim?
Man, I'm sorry, Chris, but probably the Phantom Pain for me. Just because I
You
played
didn't put in 10 hours though, did you?
No, I didn't put 10 hours. I put probably 2 though. And I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not making a good case for it. And Chris can
What about
hate me.
Assassin's Creed 3?
No, I put I put 30 hours into that and hated
That's
that.
what I'm saying. You didn't
There
like
go.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
that one
That's right.
fits the question more instead
Wow.
of stomping
Yeah, that
all
fits
over
the
my...
question better. Thank you for
my-
reminding me, Gabe. I appreciate that.
No problem. Edward?
That got me out of the weeds for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I ever put that much time into a game that I was hating. Like Recore, I was enjoying up to the point where it got too difficult, and then it drove me nuts.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the first 10 hours of it, I really enjoyed. So I haven't played anything more than if I'm hating it, I'm not going to be around for very long.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the
yeah.
point, right? In playing something like that, like don't waste your time. If you don't like it, out.
Yep. It's too much money.
That's right.
Mhm.
Sell that thing.
Mike Daugherty, what game cheers you up? Been down lately and need a pick me up. Well, guys, I think Ed, feel free. We have our answer.
Spider-Man.
There it is.
You know, I also know that Patrick Novosel has had a really rough week, and he,
yeah.
as his therapy, he dove into Spider-Man, and he beat that and platinumed it. I think.
What?
I don't know if
Good.
I
Yeah.
could be speaking, but I know he beat it, and that was a huge help for him. And
Good.
Wow.
yeah.
I'm going to say Overwatch.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
The
a good
fact
answer.
that when I jumped back into it this last week, whenever did I play with you guys? I forget who it was I played with.
With Chris, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you played with me.
That was just so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Right.
Chris?
Shoot, man, it's really hard to not say Overwatch as well, because I feel like that's ever since it came out, it has been if I can't really figure out what I want to play, I can always jump into that. And it just makes me smile until I can't get a win in an arcade and I just need that one loot box. And then I'll take a break.
Yeah.
What say you, Tim?
I do love the Uncharted's. Just because they're just good old fashioned fun. And it's just, I like the voice acting. I love the banter between all the characters, and it's just a fun game. I always have a smile on my face.
There you go.
That's a good
one.
I
like that. Mine back in the day would have been Crazy Taxi.
Nice.
I loved that game. Just like the soundtrack and everything. I would just always play that when, like Chris would say, like when you did not have anything else to play, that was the one.
Nice.
Crazy Taxi.
All right, we got 2 more over on Twitter. Mike Lopez at Taco Douglas. What's the next great superhero game franchise? Excited to see what Crystal Dynamics is going to do with the Avengers project.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know, man.
It's always hard to call because, like, Spider-Man, even as good as it is, could have been done really bad.
Well, it was for many Superman. Games.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bad Spider-Man games.
I think it's going to be either Wonder Woman or Black Panther.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
I think either one of those could be. I think Wonder Woman would be a killer. I think it'd be awesome.
No, I'm going to say Lego DC Villains. I can't wait for it.
There you go.
What say you, Chris?
Man, I don't know. I would like it to be something. I know they're not making another Infamous game, or at least not anytime soon, but I like the idea of something superhero related that's not already a known superhero.
Yeah,
I like how that was like, they weren't exactly superheroes, but for the most part, they had a superpower
like
and they could do
Girl.
crazy stuff. Yeah, I would like it to be something that we have no idea what it is, and it's just going to wow us that way.
Yeah,
I don't want to take
Chris,
Superman or any of that stuff.
Yeah, I'd actually really love another regular guy superhero
Yeah.
game.
Nice. Yeah.
Like the Infamouses were, where it's just like Cole's just a regular guy and just, happenstance,
That would be super
like that.
Cool. All right. Here's the final buster right here. At Nate Enberg. To beard or not to beard? That is the question.
Ooh. To beard.
To beard.
To beard.
And if not to beard, to scruff. Scruff's always good as well. And that can help lead to a nice beard. I'll be doing No Shave November again. And I always look forward to that. But I usually kind of scruff it out and let it go for a little bit and then shave it down. But man, either one.
What say you, Edward?
I do not beard.
Do not beard.
That's right. That is the answer.
That is the answer for Eduardo. Thank you guys.
For Yorick. I knew him well.
Yes, thank you for the questions. That's fun.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Good times.
Good ones.
All right. So I want this to be an outside the family question.
Cool.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the story behind it. I was wearing my Destiny shirt and I was running an errand real quick because it's not like a shirt I wear out really that much, but like just every now and then I'll wear it if I'm just like running into Home Depot or something like that. And so I had it on the other day and I was going to Toby's store, Citizen in Franklin, to pick up a suitcase that I'd left there. And Garrett, the guy that works there, walked out. Really cool guy, by the way. He walks out and goes, You don't play Destiny though, right? And I was like, yeah, no, I loved Destiny. Why? And he was like, are you a gamer? And we were on the road together, but we had never talked about it. And I was like, yeah, like Uber gamer. He was like, well, what do you have? Like a PlayStation or? And I was like all of them. Like I have all of them. And he was like, no way. And so like, he had a PS4 and a Switch, and so we friended up on those things. And so the question of the week for you guys is, how did you meet your gaming buddies? Not like your brother, but like, did you wear a shirt and meet somebody? Did you guys go to school together and find out that you guys both loved gaming? Is it from this podcast? How did you meet your gaming buddies?
Mine's
Chris?
Easy.
Oh, yeah. Tim, tell me, how did you meet him?
Rock, paper, scissors, baby.
That's right. That's right. Your wife's store.
That is where it all started for me.
Oh, I thought that was
really
an old
did.
man joke, like, because that was the only game he could play back when he was young.
Hey,
I thought he was making his own. I literally did. I totally forgot that's your wife's story.
Oh, that's good. Incidental making fun.
Tell the story quick, Tim.
Well, that's where I met, because Tim Hall's wife worked there. Jenny worked there. And
That's right.
And it was just this little puzzle piece, and it started with Hall, and we were talking about it. And then, and then I got into video games with him, and then it came over to you, Gabe, and then it just blossomed from there.
Yeah. And which is funny because I knew Tim before Hall knew Tim.
Right.
And so it took you and Hall being friends to really kick off the gaming thing.
And I didn't know that you were a gamer at the start either. Because I thought, you were with Toby, so you were the music guy. Like you just, you guys would come into the store. We talk music all the time. And so never thought to think of talking
until
about
I told you my
games.
E3 story. That's right.
When I got the screen grab of you at E3 with the big old Assassin's Creed 3 poster, that's when I knew I fell in love with my best friend. Until I played the game.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Chris?
My first gaming buddies that I had, I met playing Call of Duty. And they didn't even live in the same state. They lived in Florida. Now one of them, I believe, still lives in Florida. I haven't talked to him in a while. And the other one moved up to North Carolina. Yeah. I have one of them's phone number. I really should text him now that I think about it. I'm still there's on my friends list, and I'll see their name on every now and rarely when I'm on, but it'll be like, oh, so-and-so was on 2 hours ago. But it's just, that was the first people outside of my family, like my brothers, that I played games with.
On a consistent basis.
Yeah. And we would play every weekend for a good long while.
Sick. Edward?
A little company called Goatee Records.
Hey-o.
Is where I met Gabe. And
I'm in two of these stories. I can't believe it.
I know, right?
I love it.
Gabe did the podcast, and I listened to the podcast and started meeting some people.
That's
and jumped on the podcast, met a few more, and life is good.
Yeah, it is. Let us know how you met your gaming buddies. Because what's weird is sometimes you play with these people for years and years and years. Sometimes you never meet them in real life. Sometimes you exchange numbers like Chris is talking about. Sometimes they become very good friends. We've gotten amazing friends from this community. Mm-hmm. And so let us know how you met your gaming buddies. We'll talk about it next week. Thank you guys so much for being here. 313 in the books. And just as a little aside, next week is our 6th birthday.
Really?
6 years.
Wow, it is.
Almost 2. I think actually when the show comes out on Friday, the 21st of September, 6 years ago was the exact day our pilot episode came out as well.
Really?
No way.
Nice. So if you want to call 702-703-MTTG and wish us a happy birthday this week, we'll play those on the show next week too.
Oh, good call.
Nice.
How's
good
that?
Call.
Woo.
Happy
Thank
6
you guys.
years, man.
Yeah, 6 years next week. Wow, wait.
Dang, man.
We're about to lose our first tooth.
Exactly. We're going into the first grade, baby.
First grade. Here we go.
Thank you guys for listening. I'm Gabe Patillo. That's Tim Router. That's Ed Placencia. That's Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. Bang!